All right, so this is lesson 4.2, the cosine law, and we're just looking at a couple of word problems here. So from a lookout tower, a forest ranger can see two fires. He determines that one fire is 4 kilometers away and the other is 2 kilometers away. If the angle between the fires from the tower is 85 degrees, how far apart are the fires? Okay, so here's the forest ranger there's the forest ranger at the tower. He's got one fire that's 4 kilometers away. Let's call that A. And then he's got another tower that is 2 kilometers away, so about half the distance away. Let's call that B. That's 2 kilometers. And the angle between them is 85 degrees. The question is, what's this distance right here? Okay, so side, angle, side. That's the cosine law. Or I don't have a golden ratio, so I need the cosine law. So we've got then that d squared. Well, let's do it this way. Yeah, we're going to do d squared equals the other two sides squared, 4 squared plus 2 squared, minus 2 times 4 times 2, and then the cosine of the angle between them. So d squared equals 4 squared is 16 plus 4 minus 2 times 4 times 2, that's another 16, times the cosine of 85. Remember, don't hit equals after you do 4 squared plus 2 squared minus 2 times 4 times 2. Don't hit equals then, because you still have to multiply the 2 times 4 times 2 times the cos of 85, not the 4 squared and the 2 squared. So make sure you do everything in the right order according to Bedmas. Okay, so that equals 18.6055 and some other decimals. So d is going to equal the square root of that. And the square root of that number is 4.31 kilometers. And a therefore statement. So therefore the fires are 4.31 kilometers apart. Okay, let's try the next problem. You try this one and then come back and take a look at the solution. A post is supported by two 14-meter long wires that are fastened to the level ground on opposite sides of the post, creating an angle of 80 degrees with each other. How far apart are the ends of the wires? Okay, so the ground is level. Level. Maybe I should try that again. The ground is level. There's a post. There are two wires attached to this post. The angle between them is 80 degrees. Both wires are 14 meters long. The question is, how long is that? Okay, so two sides, and the angle between them, SAS, that is the cosine law. So d squared equals the two sides that you know, minus 2 times 14 times 14 times the cosine of 80 degrees. 14 squared plus 14 squared minus 2 times 14 times 14 times the cosine of 80. That's exactly how I type it in. If you have a non-display, like a one-line display calculator, you would type it in like this. 14 squared plus 14 squared minus 2 times 14 times 14 times 80 cos. Because you have to put your angle in before you type the word type cos. But your calculator will do it for you, and it will do it properly as long as you type it in properly. Okay, so that is 323.9299 and some change. So D equals the square root of that answer, which is 17.998, which is 18.0 meters. Therefore, the wires are 18 15 meters apart. Okay, the captain of a boat leaves them. Okay, go ahead and try this one on your own. Draw a diagram first and then work it through. So the captain of a boat leaves a marina and heads due west for 25 kilometers. Then the captain adjusts the course of the boat and heads north 30 degrees east for 20 kilometers. How far is the boat from the marina? So we need to talk a little bit about bearings here before you might be able to figure out what to do. So north 30 degrees east. So if we take a look, this is north, south, west, east. What this means is from north, you rotate 30 degrees, and that is the direction that you're traveling in. Okay? So, what's happening then is that it says the captain of the boat leaves the marina and heads due west for 25 kilometers. So if this is the marina here, he goes west. Sorry about that. He goes west 25 kilometers right there. Then he adjusts the course of the boat. So from here, he's going to start going in this direction. So he's going to start going like this. And he does that for 20 kilometers. So I'll call this point A and I'll call this one point B. And so now they want to know how far is the boat from the marina. So here's the marina and here's where the boat is now. We want to know what that distance is. Now the question is, what's this angle right here? Well, if this angle over here was 30 degrees and then obviously there's 90 degrees between north and east, that means that this angle here must be 60 degrees and that angle will be the same on this diagram. Okay? Again, side, angle, side, two sides and the angle between them. That's the cosine law. So d squared equals 20 squared plus 25 squared minus 2 times 20 times 25 times the cosine of 60 degrees. So 20 squared plus 25 squared minus 2 times 20 times 25 times cosine of 60, however your calculator calculates that. Hit equals and you get 525. You should only be hitting equals once in all that. And then the square root of 525 is 22.9. So therefore the boat is 22.9 kilometers from the marina. Okay, I'm going to jump down to the sine law word problem. I think there's only one. Yep, this is the only one. Sorry, the cosine law word problem. This is from the part 2. And so go ahead, try it, see how you do, and then you can come back here and see what my answer is. The posts of a hockey net are 1.8 meters apart. Hockey net, 1.8 meters. There's the posts. A player tries to score a goal by shooting a puck from a point that is 4.3 meters from one goal post and 4 meters from the other. So it's slightly longer, which means he can't be shooting from the middle, because if he was shooting from the middle, then these two distances would be exactly the same. So he's obviously off to one side. So let me erase those there. Okay. So he's not necessarily way out here. I'd say maybe something more like that. So he's here and there. That might even be a little bit too far off to the side. It probably is. But all I know is that this one's got to be 4 and this one's got to be 4.3. And so the question is, what's the measure of the angle that the puck makes with both goalposts? So I believe that's this angle here that we're looking for. So I'm going to call that angle theta, which means 1.8 is the side opposite it. So the cosine of theta, the side opposite it, is the side that needs to be subtracted on top. And then the other two sides can sit in there. So this is 4 squared plus 4.3 squared minus 2 times 4 times 4.3. So cos of theta, 4 squared plus 4.3 squared minus 1.8 squared equals, that's 31.25 on top, and 2 times 4 times 4.3 on the bottom is 34.4. So theta would equal cos inverse of that ratio. That's a 3. 34.4. And so 31.25 divided by 34.4, or actually let me do it this way. Shift cos inverse bracket 31.25 divided by 34.4 end bracket equals 24.7 meters. Sorry, degrees. That's an angle. It's in degrees. Okay, that's it. There's actually more homework. The only place that there's homework listed in this whole lesson is back here after the first part 1. So I'm just going to say that the homework that you have, let me just quickly go to your textbook, page 443. Oh, why don't you do like 1 to 13? How's that sound? Okay, page 443, numbers 1 to 13. Okay, have a good day.